Hello everyone, and welcome back to Stoic Capsule. Today, I want to start with a question. How many mornings have you opened your eyes but still felt half asleep, not because your body is tired, but because your will is? You lie there, staring at the ceiling, stretching out those few extra minutes that slowly melt into eternity. You know exactly what needs to be done, yet you don't move. Instead, you let laziness wrap around you like a heavy blanket. Excuses pour in. I'll start tomorrow. I don't have the energy. I just need a little more motivation. But here's the painful truth: tomorrow never arrives. And each night, as you drift off to sleep, that same nagging question comes back. What am I really doing with my life? You're not alone. Countless people fight this silent battle every single day. But here's the reality no one likes to hear. No one is coming to save you. No one will pull you out of bed. No one will do the work on your behalf. It's just you and only you. You decide whether you rise or whether you remain stuck. This is where Stoicism enters, not as a shallow pep talk, not as empty comfort, but as a philosophy of discipline, of inner strength, of an unshakable mindset. And in this video, I'll show you how to reclaim your power, how to take action, and how to stop waiting for a perfect tomorrow. But first, let me ask, are you truly ready to face the truth? If so, keep watching, because this is the moment everything changes. Number 1, start now. There is no perfect tomorrow. What exactly are you waiting for? A flawless day? A magical moment when motivation suddenly strikes, when there are no obstacles, no laziness, no procrastination? Wake up. That day will never come. Deep down, you already know it. I know it. We all know it. Yet you keep whispering to yourself, tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. But tomorrow is nothing more than a lie you tell yourself to make hesitation feel comfortable. Take the story of a man named Richard. He once promised himself he would change his life, start a business, get in shape, read more books, live with greater discipline. But he kept postponing. He waited for the busy days to pass, for the right moment, for motivation to suddenly appear. Then one day, Richard woke up to a terrifying realization. 10 years had slipped away. And he was still waiting. 10 years, and he was standing in the exact same place, the same person, with the same broken promises, still caught in the cycle of procrastination. Now let me ask you, are you like Richard? Are you stuck in that same cycle? The truth is harsh but simple. You don't lack time. You have more than enough. What you lack is determination. What you lack is discipline. You don't take action, not because you can't, but because you refuse to face discomfort, difficulty, and effort. You crave the easy path, but life was never designed to be easy. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once wrote, "While we are postponing, life speeds by." And he was right. While you hesitate, life moves forward without you, and by the time you realize it, it's already far ahead. Understand this: there will never be a flawless beginning. There will always be reasons to hesitate, always excuses that whisper not yet. You will always feel unprepared, inexperienced, or not good enough. But here's the paradox. No one is ever fully ready for the important things in life. Readiness doesn't come first, it comes after. You build skill by practicing. You gain experience by daring to start. You grow stronger by taking action. And yes, failure may come. But let me ask, what if failure isn't the enemy you think it is? Failure will never destroy you, but procrastination will. Failure may sting for a moment, but it won't kill your spirit. What really kills your dreams is endless waiting, the constant postponing of action. Fear, too, is nothing more than a shadow. It looks larger than life, but it only holds power when you allow it to take control. The moment you step forward, take responsibility, and act, fear begins to fade. It may never vanish completely, but it will lose its grip over you. Remember the parable from the Bible, the story of the servants entrusted with money. 2 of them invested wisely and multiplied what they had been given. But the third, consumed by fear, buried his share in the ground. And when the master returned, he didn't rebuke him for losing money, he rebuked him for doing nothing. Think about that for a moment. Are you doing the same with the opportunities in your life? Are you using them to grow, to create, to move forward? Or are you burying them under layers of hesitation and doubt? What is it that you want to do? Write a book, start a business, learn a new skill, break free from destructive habits? Here's the truth. No one cares about what you say you want to do. The world doesn't reward good intentions, it rewards action. The only thing that matters is whether you do it. Want change? Then act now. Open your laptop and type the first sentence. Step into the gym. Make that phone call you've been avoiding for months. Move right now. There is no such thing as a perfect moment. There is only perfect action. And perfect action is nothing more than action taken immediately, without delay. So when tomorrow arrives, what will you say? I'll start tomorrow again. Or will you finally act now? The choice is yours. But remember, there is only one road to greatness, and that road is paved with action. And that journey begins in the very first moment of a new day. Number 2. Win the morning. Win the day. Who are you when the alarm clock rings? Are you the one who silences it and drifts back into sleep, surrendering before the day even begins? Or are you the one who rises, steady and determined, ready to face the world head-on? Do you crumble in those first critical seconds of the morning? Or do you seize control from the start? Ask yourself honestly, are you living like a winner, or are you surrendering to defeat? In your own life, time doesn't wait. It doesn't care if you're tired, unmotivated, or overwhelmed. You either master it, or it crushes you. And that battle begins with a simple, powerful moment, the instant you open your eyes in the morning. Imagine a warrior stepping onto the battlefield, his armor loose, his weapons slipping from his grasp, his mind clouded with hesitation. Does he stand any chance of victory? Of course not. And yet, this is exactly how so many of us treat our days. We wake up late, scramble out of bed, rush through the morning, and then wonder why we feel drained, unmotivated, and stuck. You cannot conquer a day that has already beaten you before it even begins. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being." You are not a child who can afford to delay responsibility. You are not weak enough to let laziness rule over you. You are human, and your duty is to act. So why hesitate? Why let a blanket and a pillow dictate the course of your life? Why allow comfort to suffocate ambition, letting a few extra minutes of sleep smother your dreams? Extraordinary lives are never built on ordinary mornings. Look at James, a man filled with grand plans. He says he wants to change his life, to transform himself, to finally step into discipline and strength. But James had big dreams. He wanted to get in shape, build a strong career, and live with greater discipline. But every morning, the same cycle repeated itself. His alarm rang. He hit snooze once, twice, 3 times. By the time he finally dragged himself out of bed, an hour had vanished. He rushed through his routine, barely had time to shower, no time to exercise, no time to think, no time to plan, and by the end of the day, exhausted and disappointed, he whispered the same empty promise, "Tomorrow I'll do better." But tomorrow looked exactly like today, and today looked exactly like yesterday. Slowly, quietly, his entire life slipped away, stolen by procrastination. Does that sound familiar? Maybe you're thinking, but I'm not a philosopher. I'm not an emperor or a warrior. I'm just an ordinary person. Wrong. You are the warrior of your own life. And whether you like it or not, you face a battle every single day. A battle against procrastination, against laziness, against mediocrity. And your very first weapon? The moment you open your eyes in the morning. So what should you do? Get up the second your alarm goes off. No hesitation, no negotiation, no bargaining with laziness. Feeling tired? It doesn't matter. Feeling unmotivated? It doesn't matter. You don't need to feel like it, you just do it. Because if you wait for motivation, you'll be waiting forever. The moment your eyes open, take action immediately. Get out of bed. Stand tall. Do something small but decisive. 1 push-up, a glass of cold water, a minute of deep breathing, reading a single page of a book. Anything that sends a powerful message to your body and mind. I am in control today, not my laziness. But here's the most important thing: you need a reason to wake up. Without a reason, you'll never have the drive to push through the discomfort. Ask yourself, what am I fighting for? Who do I want to become? Can I accept living a lifetime of mediocrity? These questions matter because your choices are brutally simple. Keep living the same way, hitting snooze, delaying your dreams, watching others pass you by while you stay trapped in excuses. Or wake up, step out of your comfort zone. Declare to yourself, I will win. And now I challenge you. Leave a comment below. What will you do in the first 10 minutes of tomorrow morning? Write it down. Commit to it. And if you're truly serious about changing your life, hit that subscribe button, because this isn't just another video. This is the first step in taking control of your life. Number 3. Prioritize discipline over feelings. How many times have you promised yourself that tomorrow would be different? That tomorrow you'll wake up early, tomorrow you'll exercise, tomorrow you'll finally work harder. Yet when tomorrow arrives, nothing changes. The snooze button wins again. The phone takes over again. Hours vanish, and once again, you've accomplished nothing meaningful. Why? Because you're living like a dopamine addict. You see, dopamine is not the happiness hormone people often think it is. It's a neurotransmitter that pushes you to seek rewards. Eat something sweet, dopamine spikes. Get a new message, dopamine spikes. Scroll through social media and see something entertaining, dopamine spikes again. The problem is, your brain doesn't care if the reward is truly valuable. It only cares about what is fast, easy, and immediate. And that's how the trap is set. You end up chasing instant gratification instead of building a life worth living. Your emotions get hijacked by dopamine. Feeling bored, you open TikTok. Feeling stressed, you grab a sugary snack. Lacking motivation, you binge another video. And before you know it, your entire day, your entire life has been consumed by cheap rewards. And so, the cycle continues. One inspirational video after another. One easy distraction after the next. And before you know it, you're caught in an endless loop. Each time you reach for these effortless rewards, your brain learns a dangerous lesson. No effort is required. Comfort is enough. Slowly, you rewire yourself into becoming weak, undisciplined, and powerless against your own emotions. But here's the truth you must face. Emotions cannot be trusted. Think you need motivation before you act? Wrong. Think you must feel ready before you start? Wrong again. Think the right mood will magically push you into action? Absolutely wrong. Successful people don't wait for emotions to align. They don't care whether they feel like it. They don't care whether they're in the mood. They simply do the work. To take control of your life. You must master discipline, no exceptions, no negotiations. Tired? Do it anyway. Bored? Do it anyway. Unmotivated? That's when it matters most. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that we should discipline ourselves in small things, so that we may progress toward greater achievements. And he was right. Discipline, not motivation, not fleeting inspiration, is the one force that will get you what you truly want. So, how do you reclaim control? Step 1. Eliminate cheap dopamine triggers. Turn off your notifications. Limit your social media consumption. Stop emotional eating. Train your brain to desire real rewards: achievement, strength, health, knowledge, perseverance. Step 2. Make discipline a reflex. Train yourself to act every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Work hard regardless of your mood. Set clear rules for yourself and never, ever break them. Never say, "I'm not motivated." That's a lie. You don't need motivation, you need action. Step 3. Learn to embrace difficulty. If something is easy, it holds little value. If a path is rarely taken, that's usually the one worth pursuing. The most meaningful things in life always demand perseverance and struggle. Teach your brain that true rewards do not come from comfort, they come from endurance. Yes. You want success, but are you willing to pay the price? Yes. You want change, but are you ready to abandon the habits that chain you down? You can read 1,000 articles on discipline, listen to 100 speeches, but if you don't act, none of it matters. A city without walls will always fall to its enemies, and a person without discipline will always be defeated by their own weaknesses. The Bible warns us, a man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. So stop waiting for inspiration. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for that perfect day when you finally feel ready. That day will never come. take action now, because once you master discipline, you'll uncover a fundamental truth. Your life is not shaped by what you hope for, it's shaped by what you do every single day. Which leads us to the next lesson. Your life is built on your daily habits. Have you ever heard of the basal ganglia? This remarkable part of the brain is responsible for forming habits. When you repeat an action enough times, the basal ganglia takes over, turning it into an automatic response. That's why you don't think twice about brushing your teeth or tying your shoelaces. Your brain has memorized the process. But here's the catch. The very same mechanism keeps you locked in procrastination, mindless eating, and sleeping in late. Whatever you do repeatedly, good or bad, eventually becomes part of who you are. Who you are today is nothing more than the sum of your repeated choices. If your mornings begin with scrolling through your phone, you're training yourself day after day to procrastinate. If you constantly make excuses for your failures, you're reinforcing the mindset of a victim. If you keep saying, "Tomorrow will be different," but never actually follow through, you're trapping yourself in an endless cycle of stagnation. You might believe that one small action doesn't matter, but repeated hundreds, even thousands of times, that small action shapes your future. A habit isn't just a routine, it's your destiny in disguise. Success is never a sudden event. Failure doesn't happen in an instant. Both are built slowly, quietly, through what you choose to do or refuse to do every single day. So, what are the habits that determine your life? According to the wisdom of the greatest minds across centuries, there are 4 core principles: mastering your thoughts, building discipline, maintaining focus, and taking action. This isn't abstract theory, it's a proven formula. If you can master these 4, you can master your life. Let's begin with the first, mastering your thoughts. What does that mean? It means no longer being a prisoner to pointless emotions. It means refusing to let anger over a careless comment ruin your day. It means no longer letting fear stop you from stepping forward. It means refusing to allow vague worries to paralyze your decisions. Mastering your thoughts is about recognizing what's within your control and what's beyond it, and then refusing to waste energy on the things you cannot change. Instead, you channel all your power into what you can command. But clear thinking alone is not enough. You need discipline. Motivation may fuel you for a day, maybe even a week. But what about the day when the excitement fades? What about the morning when you feel nothing but resistance? Only discipline will carry you through. Without it, you remain a dreamer, someone who talks about change but never lives it. Discipline is simple, but not easy. Set an alarm and get up the moment it rings. Make a plan and actually stick to it. Train your mind and body to be tough, to obey your commands, not your feelings. Because if you cannot control yourself, how can you ever expect to control the course of your life? And then comes the third habit, focus. Do you know why most people fail? It's not because they lack intelligence, resources, or even opportunity. It's because they cannot stay committed to one thing long enough to see results. They jump from goal to goal, drifting like sleepwalkers. They waste hours scrolling through social media, consuming meaningless news, or engaging in empty conversations. And in doing so, they waste their lives without even realizing it. But successful people, they are different. They know exactly what matters, and they cut out everything else. What can you do right now to follow their example? Delete the apps that add no value. Turn on Do Not Disturb. Choose one goal and give it your full, undivided attention. And finally, the most important of all, action. You can read 100 books. You can listen to thousands of motivational speeches. But if you don't act, none of it matters. Does this sound familiar? You read about fitness, but you never step into the gym. You write a business plan, but you never execute it. You promise yourself you'll change. But years slip by and everything stays the same. So what are you waiting for? A sign from the universe? A magical surge of inspiration? Stop fooling yourself. That moment will never arrive. There is only one choice. Act now or stay stuck where you are forever. And if you've made it this far, congratulations. You are different. Most people quit the second they feel uncomfortable. But you're still here because deep down you know every word of this message holds value. So keep going. What lies ahead will give you a complete strategy. If you found this message valuable so far, don't just passively nod your head, prove it to yourself. Like this video, not for me, but as a small act of commitment that you will take action. Number 5. Greatness always requires sacrifice. You say you want to be great. You say you want to achieve the impossible. But let's face reality, are you truly ready to sacrifice? Or are you secretly hoping to succeed while holding on to comfort, excuses, and lazy mornings? Greatness has never been born from indulgence. It doesn't come from staying in bed until noon. It doesn't grow out of procrastination, excuses, or half-hearted effort. It comes from the moments when you willingly give up what is easy in exchange for what is extraordinary. Sacrifice isn't some distant, poetic concept. It's raw, unforgiving reality. You can't have everything. Want wealth? Say goodbye to endless leisure. Want a strong body? Sacrifice late-night parties and junk food. Want sharp intellect? Cut out mindless scrolling and shallow distractions. You cannot demand an extraordinary life while clinging to ordinary habits. You cannot dream of being a warrior, but shy away from the scars of battle. Every form of greatness has a price. And if you're not willing to pay it, stop fooling yourself because deep down you know the truth. Look at those who reached the top. They weren't the ones with easy lives. They were the ones who endured, who gave up more than anyone else. Do you think Marcus Aurelius gained his wisdom by drowning in the luxuries of an emperor? No, every day he fought an inner war resisting temptation, controlling his emotions, sharpening his mind. Do you think Epictetus became a great philosopher without sacrifice? He began life as a slave, enduring physical pain and hardship. Yet it was precisely that suffering that forged his unbreakable spirit. If these great minds had to pay the price for greatness, why do you think you can succeed without doing the same? Still believe you can have everything without giving anything up. Picture this: a man named James. James wants a strong body, but he refuses to give up fast food and late-night binges. He wants a successful career, but he never invests time in learning and growth. Each day he says, "Tomorrow I'll start," but tomorrow never comes. And so James remains stuck dreaming of greatness, but never reaching it. Are you like James? Are you lying to yourself with empty promises? It's time to face the truth. Either you sacrifice or you remain ordinary. There is no third option. No shortcuts. Greatness is not for the weak. It's not for those who cling to comfort and refuse to let go. As Seneca once said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. The one who never suffers, never struggles, never sacrifices, is also the one who never discovers what he is truly capable of. So don't fear sacrifice. See it for what it really is, the test that shapes you, the fire that forges strength. What you are willing to give up will ultimately determine what you gain. When you strip away distractions, reject meaningless pleasures, and embrace discipline, you don't become weaker, you become sharper, stronger, more resilient than you ever imagined. Even the Bible warns us, for whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it. If you cling too tightly to comfort, to the easy path, to the fear of loss, you will never attain anything of true value. But if you dare to let go, if you surrender what is fleeting, you open the door to everything. That is eternal. And that brings us to the next lesson. To step beyond your safe zone is to discover a life that is stronger, deeper, and far more fulfilling than the one you're living now. So here's today's challenge. Are you willing to abandon comfort? Are you ready to push past your limits? Don't just talk about it, act. Look at your daily schedule. How many hours are wasted on things that don't matter? How many habits are quietly pulling you backward while you convince yourself they're harmless? Cut them out. Eliminate every excuse, every distraction, every temptation that delays your progress. Set your goals clearly and start now, not tomorrow, not someday now. Greatness has never been built on empty words. It is built on decisive action. And when you finally pay the price of sacrifice, you'll see the truth that was hidden all along. The things you once clung to for comfort were never helping you, they were your biggest obstacles. And when you finally let them go, you'll be ready to embrace the next lesson. Number 6. Comfort isn't a reward. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Think about it. Why are you still not where you want to be? Why do your dreams remain trapped on paper, never coming to life? Why do you feel stuck in the same place, year after year? It's not because you lack intelligence. It's not because opportunities never came your way. The answer is far simpler. You're too comfortable. And comfort is quietly killing you. You want strength, but you avoid pain. You want success, but you dodge hardship. You want control over your destiny, yet you constantly seek the path of least resistance. You think rest will restore you, but it's not rest that's draining your potential, it's comfort. Comfort erodes your edge. Like a blade left unused, both your body and your mind are slowly rusting away. Picture someone who works 8 hours a day at a desk. He sits, types, answers emails, then goes home, collapses on the couch, and loses himself in endless Netflix shows. Day after day, year after year, his back aches, his energy fades, and he tells himself it's just aging. But he's wrong. It's not age, it's neglect. His body isn't decaying because of time. It's decaying because of comfort. And the same thing is happening to your mind. If you never challenge it, if you keep feeding it shallow entertainment, recycled opinions, and mindless conversations. Don't be surprised when your focus weakens, your creativity fades, and your willpower disappears. Have you heard of neuroplasticity? It's the brain's incredible ability to rewire itself based on what you repeatedly do. If you always take the easy route, your brain rewires itself for laziness. If you avoid challenges, it rewires itself for fear. But if you push yourself, if you deliberately choose the harder path, your brain adapts. New pathways form. You become sharper, stronger, more resilient. You literally reshape who you are. Think of a marathon runner. He can't run 26 miles on day one, but every single day, he pushes his limits just a little further. Every day, his body adapts, his endurance increases, his mind grows tougher. That same principle applies to you. If you never do anything difficult, you will remain weak. If you never test yourself, you will never discover what you are truly capable of. Epictetus once said, "Difficulties are things that show what men are." You don't know who you are until you are tested. A blade becomes sharp only when forged in fire, and a person only grows into their true potential when they overcome struggle. So stop waiting. Don't wish for things to get easier, wish to get stronger. Start today. You want to be stronger? Then face resistance. You want to be wiser? Then seek challenges. You want to live, truly live? Then walk into the fire, not away from it. Because only when you step out of comfort will you finally step into growth. You want motivation? Then stop waiting for it and move. Go to the gym now. You want to be better at your job? Don't wait for someone to hand you the knowledge, go find it. Read, practice, sharpen your skills until you are unrecognizable from the person you were yesterday. You want a more meaningful life? Then stop running from fear. Step into discomfort, face the unknown, and let it shape you. Every time you push yourself into discomfort, you are literally rewiring your brain. You are building yourself into someone stronger, sharper, more powerful. The Bible says, "By your endurance you will gain your lives." Without endurance, you'll never have the life you claim to desire. Without struggle, there is no growth. Without courage, there is no freedom. So don't let comfort dictate the course of your life. Don't let the pillow, the couch, or the excuses chain you down. Choose the harder path. Push yourself into challenges, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Make every single day a battlefield, a test of your willpower. And if you're truly ready to break free from the prison of comfort, then write this down as your declaration. Comfort is a trap. Say it, mean it. And then take the first step forward. Number 7. Small wins every day make the difference. Ask yourself, how many times have you promised, "I'm going to change"? How many times have you planned for a more disciplined, stronger, more successful life, only to find yourself slipping back into the same old patterns? How many nights have you looked back and realized the day was wasted, with nothing meaningful accomplished? There's nothing shameful about failing, but here's the real danger: believing that change only comes from some dramatic breakthrough, some life-changing event. You wait for motivation to strike. You wait for the perfect moment. And while you're waiting, your life slips by. Wake up, life doesn't work that way. The truth is simple. Successful people don't wait for the perfect moment, they create it. And they don't do it through giant leaps, but through small, consistent steps repeated day after day. There's a story about a man named Mark. For years, he thought of himself as a loser, not because he lacked ability, but because he kept believing he needed a massive breakthrough. He wanted a better career, but never worked on his skills. He wanted to get in shape, but every time he thought about it, he felt overwhelmed. One day, he stopped waiting for the big change and tried something small. No huge goals, just one tiny action every day, 5 push-ups, 1 page of a book, 1 quick note about what needed to be done. At first, it seemed like nothing, but after a week, those small actions became habits. After a month, exercise was no longer a burden, it was part of his identity. A year later, he was a different man. No magic, no sudden breakthrough, just small wins, repeated consistently until they transformed his life. Look at anyone who's achieved greatness. None of them woke up one morning and suddenly became extraordinary. No one becomes a master overnight. Every legend, every innovator, every warrior was built on the same foundation, small actions, stacked on top of each other until they created something unstoppable. That's how Arnold Schwarzenegger rose from a poor Austrian boy to a bodybuilding legend. That's how Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he finally gave the world the light bulb. So, what's the real problem? It's not ability. It's not luck. The problem is overthinking. You hesitate. You let your mind convince you that you're not ready. You wait for the perfect conditions, and while you wait, life passes you by. The only way to break free is to act immediately. Next time you feel hesitation creeping in, use this trick. Count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move. Don't think. Don't negotiate. Just act. Then act. Don't give your brain time to argue. Don't allow excuses to slip in through the cracks. Just do it. Get out of bed. Pick up the book. Send the email. Go to the gym. Move. That's it. Do you remember the last time you stared into the mirror and asked yourself, why haven't I changed? Don't let that moment repeat itself. Marcus Aurelius once said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Stop debating with yourself. Stop overthinking what you should do. Simply act. Pick one thing from your list and finish it. One small action may feel insignificant in the moment, but it compounds. If you move forward just a little bit every single day, a year from now you will be far ahead of where you began. But if you hesitate, if you keep putting things off, a year from now you'll still be standing in the same spot or worse. You'll have slipped even further back. And then what comes? The same cycle of regret, the same painful what-ifs. The Bible tells us, whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. If you wait for perfect conditions, you'll never begin. If you keep waiting for the right moment, you'll never accomplish anything. So stop waiting for tomorrow. Stop convincing yourself that you need a huge transformation overnight. You don't. What you need is one small win today. One step, one action, then tomorrow another. That's how real change is built. Not in dramatic leaps, but in consistent daily victories. And when you look back a year from now, you'll see a path paved by small wins that transformed into something extraordinary. But if you do nothing, if you keep standing still, do you know where you'll be a year from now? Exactly where you are right now. Still stuck, still hesitating, still haunted by regret. You don't want that, do you? Then stop waiting. Count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Number 8. You are the only one responsible for your life. Have you ever looked in the mirror and whispered, "Why is my life like this? Why are your dreams still only dreams? Why are you stuck in a job you hate, in relationships that drain you, in a body that makes you unhappy?" And have you ever dared to admit the truth that you are the one who created this reality? It sounds harsh, but it's the truth. No one else is responsible for your life but you. Not your parents, not the school system, not the government, not luck, just you. Maybe that's not what you want to hear. Maybe it feels easier to believe the world is too cruel, that you never had a chance, that you're simply a victim of circumstance. But think about it carefully. If you hold on to that belief, where will you end up? If you keep blaming everything around you, what will change? Nothing. You can't spend your entire life complaining, but complaining will never make you stronger. You can keep blaming the world, but the world doesn't care. You can avoid responsibility, but in the end, the one who suffers is you. There is only one truth. You are the cause. And if you are the cause, then you are also the solution. That's the turning point. It all begins with your mindset. What you believe shapes how you act, and how you act builds the life you live. If you believe you can't change, you won't even try. If you believe you're not good enough, you'll never grow. If you see yourself as a victim, you'll continue living like one. But if you believe you can change, everything shifts. If you believe you have control, you'll stop complaining and start acting. If you believe you're strong enough to face challenges, you'll always find a way to overcome them. So the real question is, what do you believe? There's a simple truth most people refuse to accept. Success does not come from luck. It comes from choices, small decisions repeated, day after day, until they carve out a destiny. You want a stronger body? Get off the couch and start moving. You want a better career? Stop wasting hours on distractions and invest in your skills. You want a more meaningful life? Stop waiting. Start doing. No one is going to do it for you. No one will drag you out of bed in the morning. No one will force you to make the right choices. It's all on you. Maybe you think that's unfair. Maybe you think others had a head start, more money, better connections. Maybe they did. But that doesn't change the fact that only you can change your life. There was a man named Jackson. He believed mediocrity was his destiny. He hated his job, yet never searched for another. He dreamed of being fit, yet never exercised. He complained about not having time, yet spent hours every night scrolling through social media. Then one day, Jackson realized nothing was changing because he wasn't changing. It wasn't bad luck. It wasn't that the world was against him. It was his refusal to take responsibility. That could be you. You can keep waiting, keep making excuses, keep blaming circumstances. Or you can rise and do what needs to be done. But remember this, if you don't do it, no one will. If you don't change, nothing will. If you don't take responsibility, you will always be a spectator, never the one in control. Ask yourself, 10 years from now, are you willing to look back with regret? Are you willing to let your dreams wither simply because you were too afraid or too lazy to act? Are you willing to live knowing you could have done better, but didn't? If your answer is no, then the time is not later. The time is now, not tomorrow, not someday, right now. Stop waiting. Stop negotiating with your excuses. Stop wasting your life on things that lead nowhere. Stand up and take the first step forward, because action is the only way. We've just explored 8 powerful principles that can help you master your thoughts, control your emotions, and develop the discipline to shape your destiny. But remember, none of it matters if you don't act. You can agree with everything here, nod along, feel inspired, and then fall back into old habits. Or you can stand up right now and change your life. No one is coming to save you. No miracle is waiting around the corner. It's you and your decision. Stay stuck where you are, or take control and move forward. If this message sparked something inside you, don't leave without taking action. Hit like, share your thoughts in the comments. What have you been putting off for too long? And what will you change today? And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. There's so much more ahead: insights, lessons, and strategies to help you cultivate a Stoic mindset, take decisive action, and transform what once seemed impossible into reality. But none of it will matter unless you begin. Not tomorrow, not later, right now.